righty. Good morning, everybody. I'm Josh Cowan. I'm president of HRI Communities. And before I say anything else, I want to welcome the person that's going to welcome us for this great, momentous occasion, Mayor Marshall Simeon.
Good morning, everyone. And Josh, thank you. First, I want to say, on behalf of the citizens of Lake Charles, welcome. This is the beginning of a very transformational process. But before we start, I wanted to recognize Josh and HRI for the investment that they've made in what is the kickoff of what we think is going to be a transformational project throughout the middle part of the city of Lake Charles. So thank you, HRI. We also have various elected officials here, so I don't have everybody's names, but for those on the parish and the city elected officials, could you please just raise your hand so you can be recognized? And that shows how much support we have for this type of development in our city. You know, as you know, 5 years ago, well, a little over 5 years ago, our city went through some of the most devastating series of events that have ever occurred. But we always said that we're a resilient community and we'll be on our way back. And this is a cornerstone of that development that's coming back. This is the middle part of Lake Charles, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Mid-City Loft. That right here is Lloyd Oaks. You've already seen the piping and everything else. So as we go, you're going to see streets being brought in, grounds being brought in. But the most important thing you're going to see is resilient housing, and it's going to be mixed income housing so that you really start building and strengthen the fabric of this city. And as the city continues moving that way, we're going to start putting up resiliency hubs to make sure that when anything like this happens, not only will these buildings be standing, but recovery will be in place so that we can recover faster, stronger, and more resilient than ever. So I want to thank you all today for coming out. As you saw, we just turned the dirt. I wasn't kidding. I said, I really dig that kind of stuff, you know? Well, I want to welcome y'all, and I also need to recognize Ms. Gina Campo with the Office of Community Development, because they have a big part in what's going to happen to the rest of this area. And Louisiana Housing Corporation, Mr. Kevin Delahousie, did he come in yet? Nice. Oh, Whitney Hall here for Louisiana Housing Corporation, so thank you for what you do too. And I'm not going to stay long, but this is just the cornerstone. This was what HRI put together, and Intergrand is in the house too. They're going to start with the cottages over here once all this infrastructure is in. Then you're going to see a growth, not just on this immediate 40 acres, but there's also private investment that's going to go into this entire community. So I want to thank Sarah Judson and the Community Foundation, because I was on the Community Foundation and we helped help the Housing Authority when they secured the grant to get this started. And it's that kind of investment, not just spending money, but the investment in housing, resilient housing, that's going to make this community stronger and better and match everything else that's going. So this is the cutting edge of what you're seeing around the country. And I'm glad that you're here to witness it. Please enjoy it, enjoy the presentation, and thank you so much for coming out today.
Thank you, Mayor Simeon. It's great to see so many folks gathered for this momentous occasion. I feel like we have got some empty seats, so if we got any speakers, why don't y'all that haven't come up yet, come and sit down up front, and then let's get some folks to fill out these chairs. I use the word momentous to describe this occasion very intentionally, because we're here to celebrate momentum. Momentum is something that is hard fought when you're trying to push a boulder up a hill. And sometimes on these very challenging, very interconnected, multi-functional projects, they can feel like a mission impossible. And a HUD choice neighborhood development can very much feel like that at times. So the fact that our first mixed income housing phase, the Mid-City Lofts, is now complete and leasing up very rapidly, and the former 38-acre Lloyd Oaks public housing project has been fully demolished, and that our comprehensive infrastructure project is now rolling. That's the kind of momentum that I think deserves some celebration. Before we get into the weeds on what those meaningful milestones mean, we thought it was important to share the backstory of how all of this came to be. So please welcome one of the key catalysts of change, Sarah Judson, CEO of the Community Foundation of Southwest Louisiana. She's the perfect person to tell the backstory tale.
Thank you. Yes, and so many people here have been a part of that story. I love that Josh used the word momentum, a great word that describes so many dedicated volunteers, local government leaders, expert staff from state agencies, area nonprofits, all together created momentum by working together with a can-do attitude to pursue a path towards something called a HUD Choice Neighborhood Grant. Some of us had never heard of it. Many of us might have heard of it but didn't know much about it. Since September of 2020, I have talked often and shared the story about when Moss Bluff native David Philo, and founder of Yahoo, and David and his wife Angela made a philanthropic gift of $2.5 million to the Community Foundation to steward that to build a more resilient and thriving Southwest Louisiana. This donation led to the development of the Just Imagine 50-year resilience plan, developed by world-class master planners and community engagement over a 12-month period across Calcasieu and Cameron parishes. Through the process, we heard overwhelmingly that people wanted to have reliable and resilient infrastructure, as well as resilient housing in attractive neighborhoods that people could afford and have access to those for the future. And here we are today. It's happening. One of the 11 projects is the Mid-City Transformation, securing the HUD Choice Neighborhood Grant, leveraging the support from governmental partners, area businesses, and nonprofit organizations is allowing our community to carry out this part of the Just Imagine plan. Our Community Foundation is about connecting people who care with causes that matter. And we are proud to play a role in making this cause that matters become a reality right here in the heart of Lake Charles. Thank you for having us today.
Thank you, Sarah. The HUD Choice Neighborhoods Grant Program was designed to create a holistic approach to redeveloping distressed traditional public housing projects across this country. It requires an extraordinary number of partnerships to be created at the federal, state, and local levels between government, philanthropic, and private entities to create transformative impacts in the three focus areas of people, neighborhood, and housing. The city and Housing Authority of Lake Charles are the co-grantees of the $40 million Choice Neighborhood Grant to create this mid-city neighborhood. Our company, HRI Communities, which is based in New Orleans, is one of two private companies serving as the housing component implementation team. I would like to acknowledge our partners with Integrand Development, who has been an active partner with the Lake Charles Housing Authority for the last 15 years. Integrand is represented here today by Art Schultz, Rick Miller, their lovely wives, Becky and Maggie. Together, HRI and Integrand will be replacing all of the 240 antiquated public housing units that were devastated by Hurricanes Laura and Delta, and replacing them with 240 high-quality, modern, affordable apartments, along with workforce housing and market-rate housing to create a community with over 500 apartments, retail, and various neighborhood amenities and program spaces. Mid-City Lofts is just the first down payment on that housing production right here at 18th and Lake. The Lofts consists of 46 mixed-income apartments, 25 of which serve as replacement units and have a right of first return for former Lloyd Oak residents. 10 of the apartments are market rate apartments, while the others are rent restricted at workforce housing levels and available to families earning 60% of the area median income or less. We were able to get a jump start on this Mid-City Lofts project because it was a privately owned parcel that was development ready. Obviously, that wasn't the case for Lloyd Oaks, which required extensive demolition and environmental remediation that was completed by local contractor Alfred Palma last September. Now, the key next step is that infrastructure project. That will include the construction of new neighborhood new streetscapes, including approximately 6,000 linear feet of new roadways, all new utility services featuring improved stormwater management, storm resilient underground electrical, new water, new sewer distribution, right-of-way landscaping, street lighting, the whole kit and caboodle. All of that scope is now proceeding and will be built by the local firm Gunter Construction over the next year. As I said, partnerships are key and complexity abounds. So how about this for funding of the infrastructure for complexity? Approximately $10 million of federal community development block grant funds through the Louisiana Office of Community Development, through the Resilient Communities Infrastructure Funding Program, half of the funds flowing through the city and the other half flowing through the parish, who both in turn fund the Lake Charles Housing Authority, who is contracted with Gunter to build the infrastructure. Yeah, simple enough, right? Well, we are fortunate to have had so many great partners to map through that. I'd like to specifically recognize Nicole Miller, who has been our local housing spiritual guide throughout her many roles. Operations manager for Calcasieu Parish Police Jury, LCHA board member, and now director of community development for the city of Lake Charles. The parish has been an instrumental partner, not only in funding half of that infrastructure component, which was a key leveraging source that without we wouldn't have even gotten the CNI grant, but also a payment in lieu of taxes lease structure that we put in place through the Calcasieu Parish Public Trust Authority for Mid-City Lofts. A big thank you to a bunch of their current and former members of the parish team that got us to this point. Jennifer Cobian, Tarek Palit, Brian Beam, Eddie Lewis, Dane Bolin, Alberto Galan, Erica Garrison, Tim Castle, and Kathy Smith. A hugely important supporter is this area's police juror, who was recently and deservedly elevated to president of Calcasieu Parish Police Jury. Please welcome Brian Abshire.
Thank you all for being here. On behalf of the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury, I welcome you. The Police Jury is proud to have the opportunity to be a committed partner in this overall development. We are here to celebrate what's possible when public, private, and community partners come together with a purpose. Today is an exciting day for our community. We're not just cutting a ribbon or turning dirt. We're opening doors to opportunity, stability, and dignity on the heels of unprecedented disasters and tough times that the people of our parish have endured. I have the pleasure of driving this corridor every day and watching this development happen. And we all remember what it looked like before this. And to see it go from a vibrant housing community to a desolate piece of property is devastating to us all, whether we're residents or not. And to see this building here now, to stand before it and know that there's affordable housing in our community to bring these residents back is very encouraging. And to see the people just walking the sidewalks every day as we pass now is just very encouraging for me as the juror for this district and as a resident of Lake Charles. I want to thank the residents and the partners for helping make this moment possible. When we talk about housing, we're not just talking about the buildings themselves. It's more about the people that reside in them and that make our community a better place. Developments like this help ensure our community remains inclusive and vibrant, but not just for some, but for everyone. Most importantly, it gives people the peace of mind that comes from having a place to call home. To the residents who call this place home or will soon call it home, welcome. On behalf of the police jury, we remain a proud partner in this endeavor and look forward to the many ribbon cuttings to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Next up is Louisiana State Senator Jeremy Stein, who's been a relentless supporter of this revitalization effort and very helpful in obtaining the state and federal funding it has received to date. Come on up, Senator Stein.
Good morning, everyone. I don't even know if this works or not, but great to be with you all. Just got back from a Senate retreat. We had a wonderful time. The Senate, in all its wisdom, decided to have its Senate retreat at a hunting lodge, if you can imagine that, during duck season. So what are the odds? Had a wonderful time. I'm a terrible shot, by the way, but I do enjoy talking with my colleagues and being around the hunting lodge, particularly because it's in Cameron Parish, and also because of the folks that work that particular lodge. And most of them happen to be my constituents, so I make sure to tell them all hello. And there was a few new ones there, and as I'm making my way around and meeting all the folks that work that beautiful lodge down there in Cameron Parish, I come across a beautiful young lady named Kristen. I'm not even sure if Kristen's here. She probably isn't, because she's probably working. She is a workhorse. Not only does she work there, but she continues to tell me she's a baker, she's a teacher, and then, oh, by the way, I just moved into the Mid-City Lofts. And that's when it really hit home for me that this is a place of rebuilding. This isn't theoretical. These are actual people who are moving in and getting their lives back together. And I got chills just talking to her, got her number, and told her, hey, look, I'm here for you if you ever need anything. I'm just so glad to hear your story. And that's when it really hit home for me. It also hit home for me a few months ago when I had a wonderful Zoom call with the beautiful Faith Hooks. Where's Faith? She whipped me into shape too, by the way. She said, if you don't start twisting some arms and give me some more money down here, we're gonna have a. She kicked me out of our old organization. Said, you better run for office. We need you in Baton Rouge. You can leave APG. We need you in Baton Rouge. And so I thank her for all of her support. She's been an incredible force here in Southwest Louisiana and for this project in particular. And so I'm excited to say that I've been working with not just with Faith. A lot of you folks know Paul Rainwater. He is still kicking some tail over in Baton Rouge. And so I've had numerous letters that I shot off to the fourth floor, which is the governor's, that's where the people refer to as the fourth floor for the governor. And actually just got off the phone with Governor Landry this morning to talk about Greenland. Just kidding. Didn't talk about Greenland. Actually talked about Mid-City Lofts and how we need more funding. And he is supportive, his staff's supportive. I'm going to continue to shake that money tree in Baton Rouge and bring home the bacon, as they say. I'm not ashamed to say it. That's what y'all send me there for, and I wake up every day honored to represent you all. And so thank you for all you do. I could be remiss if I didn't thank the lovely Sarah Judson with the Community Foundation and everyone here, the Chamber. Scott, you're doing a great work. Mayor Simeon, everybody involved, and of course HRI for putting this all together and assembling. What an incredible team that y'all assembled together. Look at all these people. It's incredible. So God bless you all. Thank you. I'll continue to fight for you. Let me know if you need me for anything. Love you all. Thank you.
All right, thank you again, Senator Stein. We've already spoken a good amount about CDBG disaster recovery funding, for which we're very grateful to the Louisiana Office of Community Development. Their funds are making this infrastructure component possible, and their Prime 3 Resiliency Program, in partnership with Louisiana Housing Corporation, was critical to Mid-City Lofts. The Lofts met the Enterprise Green Community Standard for Sustainability and the IBHS Fortified Multifamily Gold Standard for Resiliency in connection with their Prime program. We implemented floodproofing, stormwater retention measures, and included a natural gas generator that will power many features of this community, including every refrigerator in every apartment. OCD has been a great funding partner, and I can tell you this project will continue to need their support for the later housing phases. Please join me in welcoming to the podium OCD's Executive Director, Gina Campo.
Good morning. Little adjustment here. Talk about momentum. This is my second major event with Josh, HRI, in the last week, and he's running me all over the state. So I can't speak highly enough about HRI and their ability to bring together all of these different partners. And I know it sounds like platitudes that, you know, this is a collaboration and there's a lot of people involved and we all, you know, had to kick in, but it's absolutely true. And that's what makes the work so challenging and also rewarding. And I'd like to say that, you know, we talk about this as being disaster recovery funds, but the first part of that is the Office of Community Development, right? And that's what our real purpose here is to build communities. And this just happened to be in the realm of long-term recovery from a disaster, right? We are committed to building communities and helping to contribute to build communities, I should say, because we certainly can't do it alone. You've already heard a good bit about the project. The housing is beautiful. It's a multifamily affordable, what we call LIHTC project, which has some low-income housing tax credits. So it will remain affordable for an extended period of time. And so those opportunities for I believe it was Kristen and others who have already, you know, jumped on this, will be there. You know, that's who we want to help. We want to help those that are helping themselves and want a really energy efficient and resilient place to live. In addition to the housing program, Josh mentioned that the Office of Community Development is funding $10 million towards infrastructure, and it is resilient. And actually, the program is called the Resilient Communities Infrastructure Program. So not only did we say, hey, parishes who were really most impacted from Hurricanes Laura, Delta, and Ida, we're going to give you an allocation to utilize, but we want you to make it resilient. We don't want you to just build a road, okay? We want you to dig deep, think a little bit more about it. How can you make this really resilient and include stormwater management pieces and other efficient type of utility building and things like that, right? So some added value there. But I think it's really important to point out that this is long-term recovery. That means we're not there to pick up the debris, right? We're not there. We come in much later. So while we got our funding from HUD about 2022, and obviously we're in 2026 now, it's important to note that that is the timeline. When you're talking long-term recovery, I mean, look at Katrina, 20 years later, right? They were still spending money. So it's good to have a plan. The city has invested in a plan, and you have to stick to that plan. And you got to keep that momentum going, and that's where all of these community partners come in. I try to preach that. It's hard to do because 4, 5, 6 years later, you're just tired. You don't want to talk about recovery anymore. And other things start to become a priority. But I just encourage everyone to stick to the plan, stick to the script, and keep the momentum going. And we will be there to help whenever we can. Thank you.
OCD and the Louisiana Housing Corporation are joined at the hip when it comes to stimulating the state's economy through deploying federal housing resources. The 9% tax credit reservation LHC awarded to the Lofts, along with the Prime 3 second mortgage, were the two most important parts of the funding for the project. LHC has also set up the on-site housing component for great success. They've awarded to our partner Integrand's 44-unit senior cottage project 9% tax credits, as well as their 55-unit Mid-City Oaks townhouse phase. And then for HRI's 62-unit mixed-use Mid-City Commerce phase with retail right here on Lake Street, we've also gotten a tax credit reservation. And then just yesterday, we submitted a pre-application under LHC's new Prime 4 program for Mid-City Crossing, which is a 72-unit mixed income phase that'll be right adjacent, just on the other side of that fence, located between it and that mixed use phase I just was discussing. So yeah, Senator Stein, keep calling the fourth floor. But no, in all seriously, the takeaway is that we're going to be very busy over the next year, closing these projects that will deliver more incredible housing in late 2027 and in 2028. We have LHC to thank for all of that housing production and the resulting economic development impacts that it will yield for Southwest Louisiana. LHC has a very hardworking team that delivers tremendous results through their housing programs. Nobody represents the sophistication and professionalism of LHC better than their Housing Development Administrator, Wendy Hall. Please come on up, Wendy.
Good morning. Nothing going on. I'm sorry here. My notes are on my phone. I'm honored to join you here this morning on this exciting day to unveil the Mid-City Lofts to you. At the Louisiana Housing Corporation, our mission is to create affordable, high-quality housing that is accessible to people across the state of Louisiana. Through this work, we play an important role on the financial side, designing programs that incentivize development and help make housing attainable for individuals and families who call Louisiana home. We are grateful to partner with reputable organizations like HRI Communities. They share our commitment to strengthening communities through thoughtful and responsible development. We are also thankful for our partnership with the Office of Community Development, which allows us to award disaster recovery funds to areas in need as they rebuild and recover after natural disasters. For the Mid-City Lofts project, LHC was proud to award $1.5 million in low-income housing tax credits, and in collaboration with OCD, we were able to provide $3.5 million in Prime program funding. Projects like Mid-City Lofts require strong communication, careful strategy, and meaningful collaboration. When we work together as partners with a shared vision, we can deliver the best possible outcomes for Louisiana residents. Thank you.
All right, on projects like these, there are partners with a lowercase p and partners with an uppercase P. The Housing Authority of Lake Charles is a fully capitalized, meaning all uppercase, partner. Avonda Biggs, the CNI program coordinator for the Housing Authority, has been a constant resource to drive this initiative forward. We are very thankful for your hard work, Avonda. You've been killing it. Now, Ben Taylor led the organization for 3 or 4 years, I mean 3 or 4 decades, and is now enjoying a well-deserved retirement. I know he's here, so thank you, Ben. Change in leadership can be downright terrifying when you're doing something of this scale. But boy, did we luck out with a new leader at the helm, like Mitchell Gregg Pete. As the new executive director, Greg hasn't missed a beat, understands project delivery, and is a positive pusher. Greg, please come up and say a few words.
Well, I'm glad he said I'm a positive pusher, so please remember I'm just a positive pusher. So good morning, everyone. The Lake Charles Housing Authority is honored to join with many partners today as we continue to transform this choice neighborhood into a model of the future, where collaboration fuels opportunity and every resident has access to safe, excellent housing, supported services, and pathways to long-term well-being. As many of you know, our community is in the middle of a historic transformation, one that will shape Lake Charles for generations to come. The redevelopment of the former Lloyd Oaks site into the Mid-City Lofts and the rest of the area here stands as a powerful example of what can be achieved through strong partnerships, strategic investment, and a shared commitment to revitalization. Mid-City Lofts, a 46-unit mixed-income community, represents the first major phase of the Mid-City Choice Neighborhoods transformation and brings high-quality, resilient, energy-efficient homes to the heart of Lake Charles. It's not just a building, it's an opportunity. This development is not happening in isolation. It is part of a broader framework by an historic choice neighborhood implementation grant that we received from HUD, awarded to the City of Lake Charles and the Housing Authority to help transform distressed public housing and surrounding neighborhoods into sustainable, mixed-income communities. Together, these projects create new opportunities for residents, strengthen our communities and our connections, and contribute to long-term economic vitality. In plain terms, as my daughter would say, make it plain, Dad, we're building housing that lasts, supports families, and strengthens the entire community. But progress does not stop with construction. The Housing Authority remains deeply committed to the ongoing evaluation of our local housing needs, recognizing the affordability, resiliency, and accessibility must remain central to every decision we make. Our role is not simply to build houses, it's to support families, ensure stability, and continued access to the resources required to help the residents thrive. As the Choice Neighborhood Initiative emphasizes, community transformation depends on linking housing improvements to supportive services, transportation, access to jobs, and high-quality educational opportunities. Because housing is only the foundation, but it's not the finish line. As we move forward, we are committed to maintaining strong partnerships with organizations such as HRI, LHC, Community First, and all of our local stakeholders. We really appreciate the partnerships we have. These collaborations not only make our development this development like Mid-City Lofts possible, but it also strengthens our collective ability to respond proactively to the evolving housing needs across Lake Charles. Continued partnership ensures no residents will be left behind and that every family can benefit from the revitalization taking shape in front of us. That means the progress we celebrate today reaches every corner of our city, not just this area, but every corner of our city. Together, we are building a strong community, one where residents have access to not only excellent homes, but also to well-being activities, supported services, green spaces, and a pathway to opportunity for generations to come. And today I want to issue a call to action to each and every one here. We invite all residents, stakeholders, community partners to join us in this movement because building a brighter future for Lake Charles starts with all of us working together. Whether you're a resident, a business owner, a nonprofit leader, or a neighbor just cheering the work on, there's a role for you in what comes next. So with that said, I'd like to thank you for your support, your passion, and your belief in what Lake Charles can achieve. The transformation is underway. Stay tuned for what's to come. Thank you and God bless.
All right, Greg, thank you. I love that call to action. Back to the city of Lake Charles and the tremendous role they are playing. So many city team members have made positive contributions. I'd like to single out John Cardone, Lauren Bynum, Mark Tizano, Mike Castile, and Kelly Van Norman for their assistance building this momentum. HUD CNI co-grantee, infrastructure financing, funding for mid-city commerce, rezoning assistance, permit waivers, lead on the neighborhood component with the implementation support of urban strategies. The city is this project's bedrock. Our next speaker has been in our corner since the very beginning, first in his role with Visit Lake Charles, and now as our city councilman. Please join me in welcoming District D City Councilman Matt Young.
Good morning. What an exciting day. I live right around the corner, and I can't tell you the joy that I feel in my heart every time I pass and I see families gathered on these balconies on the Lake Street side. For many of those families who were displaced for more than 5 years, it was very heartwarming to see them come back to their homes right here in Lloyd Oaks just before the holidays. Today is a celebration, but it's also just as much a statement about who we are as a city and what we know people deserve. This isn't just a ribbon cutting for Mid-City Lofts. It is the promise of a deeper commitment that in Lake Charles, revitalization starts with people's safety, their opportunity, and their dignity in mind. This development and the entire Choice Neighborhood Initiative recognizes one simple truth. Housing alone does not transform lives, but neighborhoods do. And neighborhoods only thrive when human needs are met in a holistic way. And I want to take just my short couple of minutes to talk a little bit about what neighborhoods can do today. Here in Mid-City, that means more than just modern apartments, but they are beautiful, luxury modern apartments. It means stability for families who want to put down roots. It means mixed income neighbors living side by side. They're sharing the same sidewalks, the same hope for their future. They're sharing the same pride in their community. It's children who can grow up in a community that supports them, and seniors who can age with dignity and safety in mind. What's happening here in the Choice Neighborhood Initiative is very intentional. This model brings together housing, health, education, economic opportunity, and a sense of belonging. These aren't separate ideas, but a connected system. We acknowledge that people don't live in silos. A safe home matters. Access to services matter. Walkability and safe sidewalks matter. Having a nearby job matters. Reliable transportation matters, and all of these things added up together can truly transform this community. Mid-City Lofts is the first step in a larger transformation that stretches out into our city. When families are stable, neighborhoods are safer. When neighborhoods are safer and more vibrant, then local businesses can grow and prosper nearby. I do want to extend a personal thanks to the city, the parish, the foundation, the chamber, OCD, HUD, HRI, USI, all the I's, for putting this together, because it was truly a team effort. And thanks to Josh for leading that team, for Faith, for Avonda, for Mr. Pete. You guys are all wonderful. Thank you very much.
All right. Mid-City Lofts took a lot of hard work to execute, and I would like to thank the design build team of RNGD Construction, HCI Architecture, DW Jessen, who also served as the engineer for the infrastructure component, and all of the subcontractors that worked on this project. I would also like to thank our partner with a capital P, Project Build the Future, who is an actual long-term owner of the lofts with us. A particular shout out to Charlotte Blake and her board, including Henry Mancuso, who are here today. Our property management firm, thank you, Charlotte. Our property management firm, HRI Management, will be operating the entirety of the completed community and is off to a great start with the quick lease-up of the Mid-City Lofts. So I'd like to recognize its property manager, Janique Stevens, and thank you, and the HRI leadership team, Tanya, Debbie, Cindy, Renette. Thank you, guys. A huge thank you to our talented HRI development team, Chris, Carrie, Dima, Madeline, Ashton, Todd. Thank you guys so much for getting us to this point. Key to the development of the Mid-City Lofts is leveraging private capital. And we have some great capital partners. Hope Federal Credit Union is our permanent first mortgage lender. Our construction lender and tax credit investor is First Horizon Bank. First Horizon has been one of our most important relationships, having provided $125 million of debt and equity financing to HRI projects throughout Louisiana. It's my pleasure to introduce First Horizon Vice President and Commercial Relationship Manager, Matt Mancuso.
Morning, everybody. We are thrilled to be a part of this. First Horizon is happy to see everything going on here on this whole corner. It's been great to watch and excited about the momentum to come. We understand the importance of housing in this community, and we really just want to give a big congratulations to all the partners, everybody involved. We know it was a big feat to get to where we are today and where we are to go. So with that, we want to say thank you. First Horizon really appreciates the opportunity to be a part of this investment and look forward to see what's to come.
All right, thank you, Matt, and your colleagues. So we've intentionally saved the most important part for last. Buildings and infrastructure, they're great and all, but the people component is the reason why any of this matters. The lead for the people component is Urban Strategies, Inc. We have a long history with them. They always deliver. I always say that USI isn't a proper acronym for them. It's MVP. So here with us to highlight the people component and lead into the Welcome Home Keys part of the program is USI's Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer, Donovan Duncan.
Good morning. Come on, we can do better than that. This is a celebration. Good morning. I'm gonna have to take Josh on the road with me. Man, when I tell you every time I get the opportunity to come to Lake Charles, I just love the city. I was talking today about first time I made a visit about 5 years ago, talking about CNI, and folks were like, "Wait, what? What do we want to do? How do we do it? Can we pull it? Can we pull it off? Can we trust you?" And I was like, "Sure." And look where we're at now, right? That is a testament to all of the ability of each of you. So as Josh says, today, Mid-City Loft ribbon cutting is more than a moment of bricks and mortar. It's a declaration, a catalytic proof point for what's possible with love, collaboration, and people-centered strategies are intentionally rooted in a beautiful city like Lake Charles. The space represents belief in families and children. Let me say that again. The space represents belief in families and children and the power of community to shape its own future. The residents, partners, and neighbors we stand shoulder to shoulder with every day deserve this moment. And Urban Strategy is honored, truly honored, to share it with each and every one of you. Because love is not just a word. Love is an action. Let me say that. Love is not just a word. Love is an action. Love shows up in planning meetings and late nights. Love shows up in listening and persistence and collaboration and responsibility. Love shows up when you choose people over process and dignity over delay. Purpose always finds its place, and today it has found a home right here. 65% of residents are working each day to build a better life for themselves and their families. Opportunities are growing around us, and through collective actions, we are proving that transformation is not an abstract idea. It is a life. It is lived, it is felt, it is shared. This is a love journey, one built on trust, commitment, and the belief that communities thrive when they are centered, supported, and seen. Thank you for believing, thank you for building, and thank you for walking the journey with us. A big shout out to everyone who assisted, but especially the USI team. They are simply amazing. Simply amazing. I could do better at applause for USI. Josh said they're the MVP. And I am just, again, so appreciative. That ends my remarks, but I think I'm going to invite Chandra up because we have some keys. Welcome home.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So we are going to start with our amazing residents. The first one is Mr. Robert Weatherall. Got to get a picture, Mr. Robert. There we go. There you go. There you go, Mr. All right, you come this way, Mr. Robert. Oh, he clocked. Oh, give me a hug. All right, this way.
Come stand over here.
And next we have Mr. George Benoit. He's been in the community over 27 years, so he was excited to move back. Yay! Next we have Ms. Brenda White. I need a bigger smile, Ms. White. All right. All right, and next we have Lisa Johns. Oh! Yes. Yes, it is. Turn it this way right here so we can get a picture, because she didn't get a picture of you, Miss. There we go. All right, and last but not least, Mr. Donald Plummer. Thank y'all so much.
All right. Let's give them all a big round of applause. Mr. P, come on.
Man, that was beautiful. I want to thank Michelle McInnes and Scott Walker of the Southwest Louisiana Economic Development Alliance. They not only provided those golden welcome home keys, but hosted job fairs and many other meetings at their Seed Center. So, Michelle, thank you for opening up the Seed Center to make this project possible. All right, let me walk through the rest of the program real quick. Because of the threat of rain, we already grabbed our golden shovels and dug some dirt, so we can check that one off. 2, 3. Next, we're going to head to the front door right at the hard corner of 18th and Lake, and we're going to take a ribbon cutting picture. So we're going to do that, and then the Loft is open. We've got tours of a couple model apartments, the fitness center, the community room. There's snacks, there's drinks. So let's go take a ribbon cutting picture and hang out and see what we did. Thank you guys so much. Thanks everybody.